Yo, what is up? It's been a while since I streamed last time. Last time I streamed, it did not go so well for me. That's why I didn't stream, and as well as my camera kept dying. There's so many issues. Okay, there were so many issues that I had to deal with and fix. So I was just doing some offline recordings and just uploading it on my YouTube channel. But now I'm back to doing live again, even though nobody's going to be watching this live. But there's an off chance that there's a high chance that anybody will be watching this in the future, probably on YouTube. So I'm going to react to some stuff. Probably because I'm going to react to Tears. I don't know why I'm saying some stuff, but it is what it is. Okay, I'm probably going to react to this video because it just showed up. It's the second video that showed up that caught my eye. Okay, there's no real reason for me to react to this. I could react to this one considering the fact this is the first video that showed up, but this video has 12 million views, but this one only has 8.5 million views. So you guys know, bigger number, better person. So I'm going to go after the bigger number, obviously. I'm not gonna crack 10 views. I'm just already telling you guys. I'm not gonna crack 10 views watching this video. Okay, I need to like slow it down though. What is this? Okay, just making sure I'm at normal speed. Usually I'm not at normal speed majority of the time, but hopefully I am at normal speed. Am I actually streaming? I don't know. I am streaming. It says I'm streaming right now. I need to like triple check it because I just fumbled about quite a bit. Usually it's been a while since I streamed, so I tend to make a lot of mistakes. Oh wait, this actually showing that I'm streaming. I don't need to check my Switch. I just need to make sure that I'm checking my YouTube because that's the most important part. That I can leave the VOD, right? I need the VOD. It says I'm streaming right now. It just has this lame ass thumbnail look. For a second. Wait. I need to make sure I'm actually 1000-bit, right? It is what it is. Hopefully wait. If you guys don't know, I actually got a new webcam. If you can tell the difference. Hopefully you can tell the difference, but at least to me it looks so like it has a lot of noise going for it. There's so much pixelation going on around my face. If I go to just starting scene, right, there's like so much pixelation going on. I don't know if you guys can actually see it, but when I recorded the video and like look back at it, it just had so much pixelation going on. Hopefully that's not the case though. Otherwise it'd be kind of maddening for me. Okay, let's get into the video though. Enough yapping. YouTube has this new UI as well. Man, I can't stop yapping, but I'm going to talk about this. YouTube has this new UI. I don't know if I like it or hate it. I don't know about this retention graph though. It's kind of hard to see under a white background. So I don't know about this one, but otherwise, this is like Apple. Apple changed their UI into this glass themed, right? Like now YouTube is doing this glass theme too, because for whatever reason, I don't know why they're doing it, but they are doing it. I guess they want to be copying Apple. Okay, let's get enough yapping. Okay, I should truly enough. What is this video even about? The snake tier list. Okay, I did not even I didn't even check the video's title. I just saw high viewer count and just clicked on it. I did not even check the title at all. I saw high viewer count. I just clicked on it. Wait, is this snake going to kill this lion or what? It looks pretty scary, man. Okay, let's go 0. Damn, bro. Oh my god, these snakes got moves. That was crazy jumping capabilities. Here's Zoo.
Snakes are one of the most feared classes in the game, with a number of powerful builds and a vast array of uniquely lethal abilities.
Did it just spit out of its... How did he... What the hell?
With a number of powerful builds and a vast array of uniquely lethal abilities.
Damn, it just spit through its teeth. How is that even possible? God, I don't like snakes, if you guys want to know. I completely hate snakes. There isn't a single There isn't a... Okay. They would be at my top 10 most hated things to ever exist on this planet. I despise snakes. They scare me a lot, and every single time I look at them, I just get so not good feelings. I just don't like them.
However, some of these strategies have clearly been more successful than others. So
Cannot
in
lose
this
them.
video, which was sponsored by CuriosityStream, we'll be going over the snake tier list to see which builds rank highest. But before we get into looking at specific snake builds, let's do an overview of...
Man, these two snakes are really fighting for that one fish's life. Is it even dead? Imagine if it's alive. And these two snakes, who look, by the looks of it, they're from the same species. I might be wrong. They have slight differences, but that's like barely noticeable. I don't care if they're different species, okay? They look pretty similar to me. They're just going after this one fish. How did this fish even get caught by these snakes, though? It's like, why is it in such a shallow water? This fish is way too large to be in this shallow of a water. This is way too shallow for a fish of this size to be surviving. I don't know how it's surviving, but it's just alive for some reason, okay?
the basic attributes and special abilities the snake faction has access to, as well as a quick rundown of the history of the snake faction.
Background and history.
So, snakes are one of the newer factions in the game.
This is an uninvolved snake. Wait, they are a new faction? I thought they were very old though. I thought like weren't there like movies about big ass snakes just roaming around since dinosaurs existed? I'm pretty sure. I feel like they're very, very old. Like a lot older than us. This is like an unevolved snake, bro. Maybe this is like an evolved snake. Perhaps, you know, they might be like evolving into a lizard back again.
Joining the game's roster during the latter part of the Mesozoic expansion,
How am I supposed to know what that means?
they began as a niche offshoot of the lizard faction that was specifically adapted to burrowing gameplay. And in order to best min-max for the most efficient burrowing, this player base eventually opted to completely drop the legs attribute. This ended up being a...
Wait, so they dropped their legs just because they want to what is that word? Go underground more efficiently. What the hell? I did not know that. Like, why would they do that for just moving underground though? Is moving underground that important? I don't think the snakes like even go underground. I thought they just stay on top all the time and just like ambush rats like 90% of their lives. That's what I thought they do. Not going underground and going... Why is it underwater? This is a water snake. Or a sea snake, I think. I don't know what they're called, but they're just swimming underwater.
far more successful gambit than anyone could have anticipated, as it not only granted these lizards better burrowing ability, but also opened up a bunch of...
We're just gonna call them lizards now. They're not even called snakes, bro. They're just called lizards. Okay, they are lizards without legs, okay? Snakes are basically lizards without legs. This is a crazy shot. They look like... This snake has scales of a fish. Wait. Snakes usually do have scales of a fish as well. Now I'm thinking about it. That makes a lot of sense.
other strategies to them.
Yeah, sure.
While the snake build first hit the scene during a metagame dominated by dinosaurs, they didn't become a huge threat in the meta until after the main dinosaur powerhouses were banned in the KT balance patch. During this chaotic post-banwave meta, snake players experimented with some crazy builds, including the giant Titanoboa build. But while Titanoboa...
Yeah, this is the snake that I heard about. That's why I was saying the snakes were like hundreds of, like, so much years older. Even still, they should be older than that. Like, they were existing when the dinosaurs existed. I don't know how that wouldn't make them like old as fuck. Like, they should be that old. They're so old if they existed when the dinosaurs existed. Like, that's old. Like, I don't understand how that's not old.
Boa's giant size granted it short-term success, I think the strategies that the snake player base went on to specialize in are even more effective. Fast forward to today's meta, and snakes are one of the most successful predator factions in the game, owing this success to a handful of powerful, unique abilities. The most obvious of these is slithering, the snake's unique mobility option that it gained in exchange for losing its legs. At first glance, this might seem extremely limiting, as snakes cannot jump and move more slowly than they would.
Wait, they can't. Wait, didn't that first snake he showed before just jumped into that lion's face like boing? Flying, boing. That's what it did. I mean, that's like some jumping capabilities, I would say. Like, lizards, do they jump though? Lizards have legs. They're basically snakes with legs, like I said before. So that's more of a fair comparison to compare them to lizards. What the fuck? Okay, I have ADHD. I just forgot what I was saying. We're going back to it.
if they could run. And while those are significant limitations, the ability to slither does open up a lot of other options to snake.
That's what makes snakes so creepy though. They just like slither around. You can't even properly see them sometimes because they have such a good camouflage. Look at this. Like if you were not paying attention, like looking directly at this, and you were just like looking at some random places, it would be like really hard to notice this. Like I would not be able to notice this at all if I wasn't paying attention to it. And they just like see, they're so creepily as well. They just move so creepily. It's just they creep me out.
Domains. Rather than jumping over barriers, snakes can oftentimes find a way to slither through them. This gives snakes access to a lot of areas of the map that are normally much more difficult to access.
Not the bird's nest. The defense is not going to go well. Wait. I had these trees before. Yeah. No, this bird is cooked, bro. It's not going. There's no way it's able to defend with the snakes. The snakes are very annoying. If they were able to get to a bird's nest, there's like a low percentage of chance that the birds were actually able to defend this. I don't think they have the ability or the capabilities to actually defend this nest.
Means things like dens, nests, and other player-constructed bases are often less effective at keeping snake
it just flew
players.
away. Bro, I wasn't even paying attention. Jesus Christ, it just saw the snake and just left its baby, bro. It just flew away. There was like, it folded under zero pressure. Just because it saw the flipping snake doesn't mean that it has to just run at 500 miles per hour in the opposite direction. What kind of parent are you, bro? This is the kind of parents be doing to birds. Like, that was the worst parent animal that I've ever seen in my entire existence. That was so lame. It just saw the flipping snake and just ran away immediately. Zero resistance. Zero care. God damn, bro.
Out, which makes them one of the best classes at spawn killing.
God damn.
Slithering also allows a comparatively large build to remain very close to the ground and benefit from the stealth bonus of even the shortest grass and foliage. Despite not having claws, snakes make for highly effective climbers, making it very—
These things can climb too. Fuck. Why are they able to do everything? Like, they actually creep me out and piss me off. Like, I've seen snakes in real life. Like, they are very annoying. Like, very disgusting. So I'm just gonna say, I actually think snakes are disgusting. I don't know if you guys like snakes or not. It might offend some people, but I just don't like snakes at all. Like, not even a little bit. I don't even like them just teeniest amount. They're
very difficult to ever truly get out of reach of a snake. Still, as a rushdown option, slithering tends to be too slow to rely.
This is it. Now I actually want to see a snake versus a lizard battle, because they're literally pretty similar species, right? Like you said before, snakes are just lizards without legs. So I just want to see a snake and a lizard go head to head in a one-on-one combat to the death, to see who would come out on top. I want to see which stat is better. Is having legs better or having no legs a better stat? I think which species is even more successful. I don't think lizards. Wait, I did watch a lizard tier list before this. I live streamed it. That live was not a good live stream at all. It got chopped up. It had a lot of technical difficulties. I had a lot of technical difficulties actually doing the stream, but the lizards tier list, I think what was the best, but I got a lot of information out of that watching that video. So I know a little bit about lizards, but I just forgot now. It's been a while since I live streamed it, okay? But the top lizard is basically what is it called? It's like a massive lizard. And that massive lizard versus an anaconda would be a legendary battle, bro. I think they're both massive. Imagine if that massive lizard and the and Anaconda went head to head in Mortal Kombat. That would be crazy. That would be a great YouTube video. Maybe we could call Mr. Beast and tell him to do it. He did humans versus animals before, so it would not be an exaggeration to just tell him to do Anaconda versus Massive Lizard. I need to remember its name. What is it called? I don't know if anybody's watching this. Put its name down in the comments down below. I want to know.
Catch up to other players. So while snakes may not have the ability to chase you down, they've spec'd their movement kit to ensure that nowhere is ever truly safe from them, and if you let your guard down, they'll be poised to capitalize on that. A snake's basic strike is a little on the weak side for such a dangerous predator. Their bites can't deal that much damage on their own and are easily blocked by armor.
I thought the turtle was actually a predator, but it just turns out to be a turtle. That was scammed. I got scammed. I thought the snake was about to get cooked. The snake, ever since the video started, the snake has been cooking people. I want the snake to get cooked right now, but it's just not getting cooked. I saw this before. I actually saw a couple of clips of actually people milking snakes as venoms. Yeah, they were milking the snake's venoms like this. They just like.
It's for this reason that snakes tend to spec into various venom effects to infuse their bites with. Snake venom can have a variety of status effects, which we'll get into more as we progress through the tier list, but in general, venom greatly increases the damage potential a snake can deal with its bite. Without this, many snakes would have no means of defense and would be completely helpless when caught out in the open.
Finally, the snakes are getting cooked. That's what I've been waiting for the entirety of the video. I've been waiting for them just to get cooked. It finally happened. Look at that. Beautiful. Just beautiful.
Instead, snakes are one of the most feared classes in the game. But which snakes should be feared the most?
Wow, it's making fun of them. Why are you going back to glazing them? Just glazing the crap out of these snakes. They're not the most... Okay, they are most...
For that, let's get into the tier list. So, the lower tiers on this list...
Wait, I've been yapping for like 17 minutes and the video hasn't even, the tier list hasn't even started yet. That's great. That's great.
Contain members of the snake faction known as colubrids. This is the largest group of snakes and contains almost every snake build in the game, except for the ones you're actually afraid of.
Whoa.
Starting at the...
That was the best. That was a diss, bro. That was a diss. That was a diss. These guys, basically what he was saying is, this family of snakes contains the most trash snakes to ever exist on this planet. Every single one that exists on this family is F tier. They're all failures as snakes. They have nothing going for them. There should be... They're failures, essentially. I don't know why I'm trying to make it sound deeper than it actually is, which means they're basically failures.
At the very bottom of this group, we have the garter snake, one of the weakest snake builds in the game. Cataminers are actually unsure whether or not this build is venomous, but if it is, it's some of the weakest venom in the game. And with no other offensive abilities, the garter snake essentially only has favorable matchups against things far smaller than it, like frogs and mice. Because they're so...
I never seen anything struggle against a worm before. That was a fight, bro. That snake was actually fighting for its own food. It was fighting against this worm. This is the saddest thing I ever seen so far. This is crazy. Okay, this is not the saddest thing. This is the second saddest thing I saw so far. You know what? You know what? The first saddest thing I seen in this video? The flipping bird just immediately going in the opposite direction as the snake when the snake showed up. That's like the worst parent ever. Like the worst parent.
Far smaller than it, like frogs and mice. Because they're so vulnerable, garter snake players love to attack aquatic targets like tadpoles and small fish. But they have no actual abilities that synergize with this playstyle, nor is it a particularly good swimmer, and therefore takes on considerable risk when they venture into the water. Garter snakes?
Yeah, finally these snakes are getting cooked. This is like the trashiest snake I've seen so far. It's kind of entertaining to actually see them getting completely annihilated, and that fish just gulped it up quite easily. So
are also caught in an endless loop of wasting a ton of evolution points, evolving extreme toxin resistance to the poison of a specific newt build. This isn't very efficient, but I guess the garter snake needs to preserve its few favorable matchups.
Oh my god. He's just going hard on these snakes, bro. He does not seem to like have any kind of favorable how do you even say that word? Favorable opinion towards these snakes. He just hates them. Every snake, every single snake. Okay, these are the trash shit. Worst the worst. Oh, I can't speak. I need water right now.
Next in F tier we have the Racer Snake. This is a snake build that put an above average number of evolution points into mobility, making it one of the fastest snake builds in the game. That's not really saying a lot given that snakes tend to have pretty poor movement speed, but credit where credit is due, this does give them a much better chance of dashing into cover when under attack. Unfortunately, as with a lot of mobility centric builds,
that is a pretty good start. You just run away from every single fight, so you don't lose anything basically. I mean, you do lose something. It's like being a cheater, right? You can take down prey, but you can't really guard your prey. But I don't know where I'm going with this. I just should stay focused on this video instead of yapping about something completely unrelated. Sorry guys, I'm just new to reacting to videos, okay?
this alone isn't enough to make them competitively viable. In fact, even with their above average slithering speed, they're usually still too slow to chase down many of their preferred attack targets. They're also worse climbers than most snakes, making them one of the few snakes that can be countered by simply climbing out of reach. In almost all cases, a snake's worst matchup is against birds, and unfortunately for the Racer Snake, speed usually isn't much use against a surprise aerial attack. Their lack of practical applications for their signature abilities plants them firmly in F tier for me.
Firmly in F tier.
Next on the tier list we have the...
I don't know about that. I feel like they were better than the first snakes he showed, which were like completely garbage. I don't know what the hell they were doing. They had nothing going for them. Literally nothing. At least the second ones at least has some kind of mobility. They can move really fast. They got speed type shit. But the first ones, they got nothing, bro. Literally nothing. I don't know what kind of choices or what kind of life decisions they have to make into actually investing points into something that's completely and utterly useless. Like they did. I mean, they have high venom resistance, which is like completely unuseful, I think. Okay, I can't speak, bro. I don't know what the fuck is going on.
Vine Snake. Now, there are many highly effective arboreal snake builds, and all things considered, the Vine Snake isn't terrible. It's got great stealth and is an excellent climber. But I mean, just look at this thing. With the lowest HP and defensive stats of any snake, bro, this build folds to absolutely any attack. Vine Snakes entrust their survival to their above average stealth stat, but if that fails and the Vine Snake is discovered, they resort to intimidation. They
don't look that intimidating to me at all. What is this? This is like the most unintimidating snake I've seen so far. It just looks like a green robe.
Intimidation tactic consists of sticking out their brightly colored tongue as a warning. Much like with the blue-tongued skink, I don't consider this to be a particularly effective defensive display, especially when this warning is backed by some of the weakest venom in the snake faction. Definitely not F tier due to its decent camouflage, but with nothing else going for it, it's stuck in D tier.
Makes sense. Tiger.
Next in D tier, we have the Tiger Keelback. This snake build breaks the mold when it comes to toxic strategies.
It can move. What is this snake, bro? Why is it moving so smoothly on top of the water? I've never seen a snake move like this before. This got movement. It is smooth with it too. Like zing, 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 zing. Very nice.
In snakes.
Very satisfying. The way it moves looks very satisfying. I don't hate this snake no more. I like this snake. It got pretty decent movement capabilities.
As rather than dumping all of its evolution points into venom, the Keelback also allocates some of its resources into becoming poisonous, meaning that they can inflict the toxic status effect both when dealing damage and when taking damage.
Damn!
This extra defensive ability definitely raises the Keelback's ranking compared to most colobrid snakes.
And why are they in D tier? That's like way too D tier. Like these snakes sound really cool to me. They can move through water like boats, and they got like they can deal poison damage, and they got poison defense too. They're literally the poison god at this point. They're the poison monarch. They're the poison monarch.
However, overall, it's still not that great.
How?
Both their venom and their poison aren't all that potent, and it's possible that going all in on one of these strategies might have been the better play in the long run. Still, the Keelback strategy does mitigate one of the colobrid faction's main weaknesses though, which is that they have a hard time using their venom defensively. Many colobrids, including the Vine Snake and Keelback, are venomous, This is useful because, I mean, how else would a snake barely thicker than a piece of spaghetti deal any damage, right? The problem is, colubrids lack the efficient venom delivery abilities found in the more...
This is actually crazy. This is like two different species at this point. They got like, look at the teeth's difference, bro. This is some teeth. I think this is how venom's actually produced. At least the most toxic snakes have this teeth. And I don't know what kind of snakes these are, but they don't got no venom.
Dangerous snake builds. Their fangs are located at the back of their mouths, and these fangs don't actually inject venom.
What do they do?
Venom is just kind of part of their saliva, so to deal any damage with it, they need to really chew on their target for a good chunk of time. As you might expect, this makes individual strikes from most venomous colubrids quite harmless, as they don't contain much venom per hit, and they also can't really use their fangs unless they get a really solid bite in.
They got no attack capabilities. Just basically they have zero, I mean not zero, but basically very low attacking capabilities.
Keelback's poison does sort of cover for this weakness, which is great, and for that it gets to the top of D tier. However, a defensive poison is by no means the only way to mitigate the drawbacks of having rear fangs, as we'll see as we move out of the low tier and into mid tier. At the bottom of C tier we have the Boomslang, the most venomous snake build from the colubrid faction. This snake kinda just does everything the vine snake does, but better. It's an excellent climber and has great camouflage, but also packs a devastating bite with extremely overpowered venom for its tier in terms of potency.
Damn.
And while it does have rear fangs, they're significantly larger than most colubrids. But its best adaptation is that the Boomslang can open its mouth far wider than most snakes, allowing it to deliver a venom-infused bite in spite of the unfavorable location of its fangs. This allows the Boomslang to go toe-to-toe with high-tier builds like the Chameleon, as well as...
Wait, when did Chameleons become high tier? I'm pretty sure the last time I reacted to the lizard tier list, the Chameleons weren't that high. I might be wrong though, but I remember them being quite controversially, at least in my opinion, being placed at a low tier. I don't know why he's calling them high tier. Wait, compared to D tier, they're high tier. Makes sense now. That makes sense. Like if you're D tier, then anything about like I'm pretty sure Chameleons are B or C tier. I might be wrong though. I don't remember exactly, but.
Has let it use its potent venom as a defensive threat rather than solely just a hunting tool. Now obviously this is still far from ideal. Its venom is quite slow acting, making it not that useful when under attack. In my opinion, the Boomslang is the perfect example of a snake that really just needs one or two more buffs to be a high tier build, but in its current state it just doesn't quite get there. At the top of C tier we have our last member of the colubrid faction, the King Snake. The King Snake is a large snake build with no venom based abilities. Instead, this is the first Constrictor build on our list. Constriction is a type of grappling attack that, when properly executed, results in a guaranteed KO, even on extremely large targets. Its main drawback is that this attack strategy is highly vulnerable to disruption. A Constrictor player has to be able to survive all counterattacks from its target while attempting to restrain it. So with that said, you'd think it'd be very difficult to use this technique against a venomous snake, right? Snakes are so flexible that it's very difficult to grapple them without giving them an easy opportunity to bite back. That's where the King Snake's second ability, Venom Resistance, comes in. The ability to ignore all damage from a snake's venom makes the King Snake's matchup against other snakes horribly one-sided. Just for good measure, King Snakes have high enough accuracy on their attacks that they tend to go for the head, which negates a snake's counterattack potential even further.
That's crazy.
This is about where the King Snake's supremacy ends though, as the rest of its matchups are pretty standard for a snake, and with no venom of its own, it doesn't pose much of a threat to players it can't reliably immobilize in its coils. Luckily, there's a pretty simple change a Constrictor build can make in order to increase the effectiveness of its constriction: size.
Wait, we're already at B tier? I don't know what the hell I was thinking. I thought we were... Yeah, makes sense. So we were at C tier before, so the Chameleons were B tier? He did say a snake that took down a Chameleon was a high tier enemy. I might be tripping though, I don't know what that was going on, but that's pretty cool.
Boas and pythons are the poster children for this type of strategy, being the only snake...
Yeah, there's basically like the snake he showed last time, but a lot more larger, bigger, massive in fact. That's what these different snakes
builds that can be properly classified as tanks.
Thanks.
While technically these are two different factions, they are functionally extremely similar and both contain specific examples of highly effective.
Well, they're from different factions. I thought they're related, to be honest. I don't know why I thought that, but they got the pythons and fungus the snake. Wait, I thought they had the same stat. That's what I mean, same strat. So they must be related in some kind of way, but I guess they're kind of distantly related from a different family.
Tanky snakes. Although boas and pythons have no venom, their large teeth and incredibly high physical stats make them more than a match for just about any player that challenges them directly. With their thick scales and huge size, it's very difficult to defeat one of these in a 1v1 quickly. Their ability to tank a lot of hits during a fight means that even extremely powerful builds like the tiger are in for quite an uphill battle if they choose to stand and fight.
Did this thing just take down a tiger? It's almost taking down... How is it taking down a tiger? How? How are you able to do this? What kind of sorcery is this, bro? I don't know what's going on.
Well-statted builds with high defense and DPS, like the Crocodilian factions, are easily overcome with brute strength once a boa or python uses their piercing fangs and powerful coils to trap them in an infinite grab combo. Drawbacks to the constriction strategy are vulnerability to third-party attacks, and the immense cost of failed kills.
Yoink.
While many constrictors have the size required to challenge other large builds, going after too powerful a target can expend a disproportionate amount of HP compared to...
These things are crazy. They're just taking down everything. Tigers, lions, crocodiles. It doesn't matter what it is. They're just taking down everything, bro. How are they in B tier? Isn't this like the snake tier list? How are these things in the B tier? They're just taking down tigers, lions, and everything, bro. What the flip is going on? And they're still B tier? I don't know about this one. I don't know about this one.
Other snakes. As large builds are often more conspicuous, the most successful constrictor players will make good use of the camouflage ability.
Anaconda.
Out of the boa faction, the most powerful build is without a doubt the Anaconda.
Yeah.
These are among the heaviest.
They made so many movies about this thing. It's crazy. This might be the most famous snake in the world. Other than perhaps Cobra, but I don't know about Cobras being that famous. But Anacondas, there's so many movies about them. Cobras, even though they're famous in most part of the world, but I don't think it's like that famous in America at least. But Anacondas should be like pretty famous.
Any snake, and by far the tankiest, with an HP stat that renders most physical attacks almost negligible. While Anacondas are significantly less viable on land due to their greatly reduced speed on terrestrial maps, their mobility, stealth, and camouflage bonuses in the aquatic meta make them nearly unbeatable in that biome. Anacondas are capable of serious speed when their buoyancy abilities can counteract the limitations of their enormous size, making nearly any unsuspecting player who enters the water an easy target. Their eyes and noses are oriented towards the top of their faces, allowing them to expend minimal energy while camouflaged in aquatic vegetation, waiting for the perfect opportunity to carry out an ambush attack. Despite their formidable base stats and proficiency in highly specialized forms of gameplay, the fact that Anacondas are only truly viable in aquatic environments limits their utility and places them squarely in B tier.
Damn, that's the only reason why they're at B tier? I don't know, even if it's like only specialized in one part of the thing, it's like really good at that rate. Like it does it pretty well. I don't know, like I feel like they should at least be placed in A tier or something like that. Because B tier seems way too low for something that can just like take down tigers and pythons, like shit like that, bro. Like go back.
Of their faces, allowing them to expend minimal energy while camouflaged in aquatic vegetation, waiting for the perfect opportunity to carry out an ambush attack. Despite their formidable base stats and proficiency in highly specialized forms of gameplay,
it's even taking down a panther. This is crazy, Rick. I don't know why they're at B tier, honestly.
The fact that Anacondas are only truly viable in aquatic environments...
It's fine though, they're just really specialized in one thing. They're really specialized in one thing. Isn't that good? Like even that might like in the future when aquatic spaces becomes less viable, it's still pretty good. I don't know why they're at like such a low tier, at least in my opinion. They should be a place higher, bro. Just saying.
Limits their utility and places them squarely in B tier. The most competitive build in the Python faction is the Burmese Python. While many snake builds are competitively viable only on certain maps that suit their special, totally destabilize the meta of the Florida Everglades, due mostly to the Python's extremely one-sided matchup against non-social mammal builds, and a lack of the type of builds that normally keep the Python player base in check. Now, thankfully, the current top tier of the Everglades is quite capable of defeating or repelling a Python in single combat, But because the alligator's dominance is restricted to the aquatic zones, pythons essentially have complete control of the arboreal zone, which has led to a drastic reduction in players running mammal builds like the rabbit, raccoon, fox, and bobcat.
Damn, bro, that gotta be brutal. Invasive species are like quite hard to defend against if you are like some cats and rats. That's like asking to get killed, bro. Imagine me. Okay, I don't want.
While Burmese pythons come in at the top of B tier due to their versatility, their low speed stat and lack of venom makes higher tier snakes much more viable choices for most gameplay styles.
Okay. We'll see. Yeah, I want to see who is better than anacondas and pythons. I feel like the most of the time he's like they have so many advantages and so few disadvantages. It's like kind of bad for them to be included in B tier. I think they at least should be placed in A tier at the very least. Because they have like so many advantages. They like if you look at the anaconda, it took down a tiger, a lion, a panther. Like it's taking down everything, bro. It literally taking down everything, and it's still B tier. It doesn't matter if it's only viable on like sea, even in the water. Like never mind that. Didn't it take down the tiger on land and the lion on land and the panther on land? Most of the apex predators it took down were on land. It didn't take them down. Like it didn't take them down, but it like constricted them. It kind of limited their movements and able to defend itself against apex predators. I think that's like really good. So I don't know why they're at B tier. They at least should be at A tier. At least in my not my humble opinion. My very arrogant opinion.
While some snake builds in lower tiers can use the venom skill, placement in A tier or higher rides almost exclusively on choosing to dump a majority of evolution points into maximizing venom efficiency and delivery methods. Members of the Viper class dominate the A tier. Among the most feared builds in the game, Vipers have a variety of special offensive and sensory skills that help compensate for their generally low defense stats. Their long, hollow fangs are placed at the front of their mouths and can pierce most armor to deliver lethal doses of venom. But one drawback to the flesh-destroying hemotoxins used by most builds in this group is that they can take a while to immobilize players. Most Viper builds also spec into the infrared heat sensing ability, making them extremely powerful nocturnal ambush attackers and compensating for their lack of speed. Some members of the Viper faction tack on tail adaptations too, for access to the
What the fuck did I just see? The actual.
Some members of the Viper faction.
Is that a bug or a tail? Like you're telling me it's a tail. Like what in the disguise is this, bro? This is some next level. This thing is evolved. This thing has evolved into something that is beyond a snake at this point. This is crazy. I never seen this.
Action tack on tail adaptations.
How is that a tail? That's so natural. How does this legs even move like that? How is this possible? In which world is this ability?
Too, for access to the.
Oh my god! It basically is a bait. It makes its tail looks like a bait and just attracts birds and just eat the birds, bro. This thing is playing chess while everything else is playing checkers. This thing is on a different level. It's like five steps ahead. They're always one step ahead. First time chatter, bro. What is this? Yo, guys, look if anybody's watching this live, bro. I got another offer to buy some kind of shit. Probably viewers. They want me to view bot. I got 0 viewers, by the way. I'm not gonna say anything about view botting. I might get banned for saying anything about it, bro. It's fine. You move on though. I mean, it's kind of distracting to have it there though. It's just like advertisement for what? They're getting they're not getting free advertisement in front of my videos. How do I disable it?
Intimidation and luring abilities, but these perks are minor compared to the raw offensive potential.
This is crazy. What the hell is this?
Coming in at the bottom of A tier are Gaboon Vipers, combining the highest defense stat of any venomous build with near unbeatable stealth and an incredibly high strike speed. Despite their bulky appearance, Gaboon Vipers are almost invisible to spot during gameplay, and are notorious for destroying unsuspecting players due to the sheer volume of venom delivered during an attack, despite their relatively underpowered.
That was some crazy motion. I don't know what the flip was going on there. It just jumped into it like with such speed that it's blinding. You can't even see it. This is an Apex ambush predator. I don't know why I'm calling it an Apex ambush predator, but it's really good at ambushing. And it got poisoned too. This chicken did not stand a chance.
Toxicity compared to other Vipers. With the longest fangs of any Viper, they can deal significant physical piercing damage in addition to any toxic effects caused by the venom. They conserve energy by remaining motionless when not in combat, and are rather difficult to provoke into unnecessary confrontation. While Gaboon Vipers are an excellent choice for ambush-based play in jungle.
This is a Gaboon Viper, okay? I was glazing it just a bit, but to be honest, I would not want to be this thing. What is this, bro? This looks like a blob. If I was a snake and I look like this, restart, bro. Just restart. Just restart. Even if you got like a high A tier build, just restart. It's not worth it to look like this.
Maps. Their lack of versatility and low aggression means they can be easily outmaneuvered by other builds.
Bro, this is so lame. These snakes, I don't know why I glazed them just a bit, but these things are as lame as flip. Oh,
Cottonmouths rank slightly higher in A tier due to their rare ability to use the skill set of the Viper class effectively in the aquatic realm. As the only Viper build in the game with aquatic adaptations, their potent venom and fishhook-shaped fangs make them incredibly effective at farming out fish and frog players for easy XP. This build specs into the Caudal luring ability at lower levels, allowing them to quickly become competitive, and shed this ability at higher levels in favor of better camouflage. Cottonmouths are also relatively tanky and escape many combat situations by using intimidation tactics. Their dominance in
these things are intimidating, okay? Not like those green snakes we saw earlier. Those things were not that intimidating. They just look like green robes. Like so. These things, like, they look intimidating, bro. If you saw this, you would think you would have like a few different thoughts before even approaching this.
Tanky and escape many combat situations by using intimidation tactics. Their dominance in aquatic maps makes them able to occasionally overcome more competitive generalist builds, but this is limited by biome and makes them
able the snake doing? What are they?
To occasionally overcome more competitive.
Why do they have so many flies surrounding them?
Generalist builds, but this is limited by biome and therefore not useful during the majority of gameplay.
Rattlesnakes.
Rounding out A tier is the rattlesnake. Best suited for desert and forest biomes, these snakes combine a variety of overpowered special abilities with well-allocated base stats. Rattlesnakes are highly capable builds for ambush-based stealth play due to their ability to create thermal maps of other players in low visibility situations.
Everything got thermal visions now. This is crazy work. Every single top snakes at this point in time, they should be able to have venom, crazy movement, and night vision. If you don't have these three abilities, at the least, you are not making to the top tier, my guy. You're just stuck in the bottom tier forever.
Which makes them one of the most effective counters for mammal players with the night vision ability. Instead of risking health by grappling with other players, rattlesnakes deliver a lethal amount of venom in one quick strike, and then use their prey.
This is the snakes I was thinking about when I was thinking about snakes, bro. They just like lightly bite you once and you are done. It doesn't matter. They're gonna kill you so fast. You're just gonna die out of poison damage. The poison damage is crazy. That's one of the main things that scares me about snakes. I don't want to approach them. I don't want to be anywhere near them.
Tracking ability to find them after they've succumbed to toxic status effects. One major advantage for rattlesnake players is the highly effective rattle intimidation technique, which allows them to scare off more powerful challengers without wasting venom or risking serious damage.
This tail is pretty cool, but not as cool as those bug tail. The bug tail was insane. That thing was clapping cheeks. It really was. That was clapping cheeks, bro. That thing was insane. I don't even have words to describe the amount of capabilities that tail has. This tail, I can't even be impressed by this tail no more.
While rattlesnakes sit at the top.
Yeah, I want to see which one is the S tier now. These snakes, every single one of them, above B tier seems like really impressive. Even at C tier, the snake that can like move through water like smoothly, that seemed pretty impressive to me too as well. So like most of these snakes are kind of impressive to me for now. So I'm kind of curious to see what what snakes are just completely better than them. I'm pretty sure cobras are making the S tier, bro. Like at this point in time, I just gotta like I know, because like I know cobras got like good poisoning abilities. I know these snakes existed. Okay, so if they don't appear, they're not F tier. I'm pretty sure they're not F tier. They at least should be an A tier, at least in my opinion. So if they didn't make an A tier, they're basically making an S tier. At least that's my predictions for now. If I don't see cobras here, I'd be like, I don't know what to do.
A tier due to their relatively well-rounded stats among members of the Viper class. All Viper builds are still classified as glass cannons and tend to lose out against opponents with quicker acting venom, superior.
Yeah, that makes sense. They're just glass cannons. They just get they got like insane damage, but like no defense at all. Anything could take them down basically. Wait, that's why they have like such venomous potent venomous wall though. Like they just gotta like slightly bite you once and you are done. They can run away and like wait like for 5 days, then come back and eat your entire body. They can do that. Why would they need to fight? They only need to bite you and just run away. I think that's like a bad for them. Like hit and run tactics. That's what they should be doing instead of just going on head to head. Wait, do they have high mobility though? I wasn't paying attention. I wasn't like paying that much of a close attention to that. Like, I don't think they have high mobility. If they had high mobility with like great damage, they can just hit something and just run away, then track it until after it dies and eat it. I think that's like a great stat.
Your speed or high enough HP to tank their attacks.
S tier.
Snake builds placing an S tier overcome the weaknesses of other Venom users by maxing out mobility stats and employing a variety of.
Yo, that's what I was saying before. I might be actually smart. I might actually be smart. I was saying you need high mobility with venomous with great venom. You can just escape every single situation. I was making an S tier build before I even knew what makes a build good. I think I learned a lot from this. Next time when I get to be born as a snake, I will use this stat that I just made. That Tierzu apparently agrees with me as well. This stat is just OP. If you guys want it, you can take my stat and use it. You know, it might be, but just give me the credit. You know what I'm saying? Like, just say like, I gave you the guys the best build in the flipping game. You know, just subscribe, okay? Subscribe to me. I don't even want the credit. I don't need the credit. Just subscribe to me if the build helped you guys. If the build helped you guys, just subscribe to me, okay?
Highly effective venom delivery techniques. The most competitively viable snakes spec into heavily neurotoxic venom, granting them the ability to inflict toxic damage and status effects far more quickly than lower.
I don't know why it's like struggling with a squirrel right now, but why? How's that S tier, bro? This thing is literally struggling against a squirrel. The anaconda like literally took down a tiger, a lion, a panther. Like it's taking down everything. I'm like, this thing is struggling against the. Okay, I'm not saying. Okay, never mind. I still think cobras are better though. If I were to choose any kind of snake to be reborn as, I would choose the cobra still.
Tier venom users. While these buffs come at the cost of base defense, S tier snakes are only really weak to the rare few players with venom resistance or effective bite.
You know what? Never mind. I forgot about these things are taken by like
evasion skills.
Cobra.
Coming up first in S tier is the Cobra build. With impressive base speed, these snakes can actively chase down other players rather than having to solely rely on.
This is a Cobra? I did not know that.
An ambush strategy. Variants of the Cobra build can spec into moderate aquatic and climbing proficiency, allowing for particularly well-rounded gameplay. Their fast-acting venom is mostly neurotoxic, but can have mixed toxic effects that melt through flesh and maximize the amount of pain inflicted.
Why is that?
Even elephant players, the tankiest terrestrial build in the entire game, can be taken down by the ridiculous amount of sheer toxic damage inflicted by a well-placed bite.
Damn.
While all Cobra builds have forward-placed fangs to maximize venom delivery, spitting Cobra players can use the only ranged attack in the entire.
This is the first thing we saw from the intro. These snakes are insane. What kind of ability is this, bro? Crazy.
Higher snake class by spraying venom up to 2 meters through holes at the front of their fangs. This move has high accuracy and can permanently blind other players when used effectively.
Ouch.
Cobra builds advertise their power by using a unique hood modification, intimidating the vast majority of players away from trying to challenge them in the first place. With enough offensive capabilities to take on an entire team of attackers at once, it's no question that Cobras are one of the most competitively viable builds in the Snake faction.
Sea snake.
Next in S tier are Sea Snakes. With full aquatic adaptations and special underwater sensory skills, these builds
This thing is done for.
can access hard-to-reach areas to demolish even the most competitive fish players.
Okay, it wasn't the shark's fault. If that thing humans put there didn't exist, the snake would have been done for, okay? I was right, okay?
Their fangs are relatively small compared to the closely related Cobra builds, but this works in conjunction with a special attack style. Their venom is some of the deadliest in the game, but causes almost no pain, meaning that other players may not even know they've been hit before fatal.
I thought that was like, I was thinking, man, that's not a good stat. Then I realized, that's like a great stat. Damn, bro, damn. Like, as long, you don't even know you got hit. Imagine you got bit, you don't even know you got hit. Then you just die. There is a reason why animals have the ability to feel pain. It's such an advantage that you're actually getting damaged. You don't, and the snake just took out one of our major advantages that most animals have. Crazy.
Toxic damage sets in. While they are effective at using trickster tactics to take down enemies independently, Sea Snake players can also hunt in teams to capitalize on their own offensive potential and compensate for their low individual HP.
That's a double combo.
This build does have a bit of a high skill floor though, and inexperienced players may struggle at playing around the Sea Snake's defensive.
These are the ones who got destroyed in the intro as well. I remember the introduction, bro. I just remember that. Why are they at S tier though? They got completely bamboozled by fishes. Literal fishes. I never seen a snake being taken down by a snake ever before. These snakes are that trash. They're like, why are they at S tier? They should be at F tier with those bottom tier trashes, basically.
The Sea Snake build has a unique playstyle that can be hard to master, but with the ability to 1v1 eels and win, this build sits at the top.
Is 1v1ing eels impressive? I didn't know 1v1ing eels that impressive, bro. Yeah, I don't know about the anacondas. Still 1v1 to tiger, a tiger, a lion, a panther. Oh, and nice.
For those who enjoy a challenge.
Black.
The final build on this tier list
Mamba.
is the Black Mamba. With incredibly overpowered base stats for their class, including ridiculous damage and speed, the Black Mamba is by far the most competitive snake, both in terrestrial and arboreal combat situations. Their speed isn't just with respect to movement. The lethal venom of the Black Mamba takes effect extremely quickly, and can decimate enemies of any size.
Man, that thing is just watching. You just hit it once and just watching us this rod just slowly dying. This thing is insane.
A high dose delivered in each bite. Black Mamba venom imposes a variety of neurological status effects, including respiratory failure and vision loss, making them one of the most feared opponents in direct combat. Mamba builds have an extremely aggressive and fast-paced playstyle that leaves little room for counterplay, especially considering that their HP and defense stats are among the highest
I'm pretty sure they're not fighting. There's no way they're fighting like this.
of any venom users due to their large size. While they don't have any unique moves to speak of, Black Mambas dominate by using strategies common among snake players, and do so to an exceptionally effective degree. Topping the charts with the highest DPS potential of any snake, and respectable defensive skills to boot.
But did it take down this lion or what? This I don't know what kind of information he wants to show to us by showing this. I don't know if this lion is dead or sleeping, but it's next to this flipping snake that's like, by the looks of it, the most scariest snake in the fucking world for some reason. It's just directly just facing a lion that's appeared to be dead. I don't know what kind of thing I'm supposed to get from this, but am I supposed to know? Did it take down that lion? I don't know.
The Black Mamba is the undisputed ruler of snake builds.
Yeah.
Snakes are by no means meta-defining, but it's still worth knowing how they stack up against each other and what their main strengths
Yeah, just in case you guys get reborn as snakes, you know what? It's the best build now. It's a Black Mamba. Just remember. About still pick the Cobras because I don't know why, because they got like those fancy things. They look good. Okay, that's the only reason. I don't got any better reasons. They just look good. And they got the S tier as well. So that's like 2 reasons for me to pick them. Even though they're not the best snakes in the world, they're still pretty good.
And weaknesses are. There's a lot more to snakes than just their general combat abilities though.
No.
How do snakes deal with cold damage? How can snakes climb trees so easily without
Yeah.
claws or cling pads?
How's that
If you're
possible?
really interested in knowing all the ins and outs of the snake build, I
Just in case you guys want to actually be reborn as snakes, you can watch this.
highly recommend checking out this video's sponsor, Curiosity Stream. They have this excellent documentary.
Well, double do ad, but I don't get paid for nothing. That was a great video by Tirzu. I think he kind of popped off. Not gonna lie, bro. Not gonna lie. And I yapped for 55 minutes somehow. But still, W bit by Tirzu. Like my video too. I'm gonna stop streaming now. It's like an hour of streaming. I wasn't thinking of actually streaming for that long, considering the fact it's like 13 p.m. already, which is like already midnight. So that's it for today's